shop before we leave.
Alright guys, welcome to another video from XF Motorsports. Today we have the full team of XF Motorsports over here, Karen and Sebastian. And in this video we are going to be finishing up on the E55 manual swap. So in part 1 of this video series we made aluminum adapters to bolt the 350Z transmission to a Mercedes engine. In part 2 we made the transmission mount adapter and the gear shifter so that we could actually mount the 350Z gear shifter in this car. In this part finally we're going to be doing the last few mechanical things that we need to do to get this automatic or manual transmission working in this car. So we're going to be starting off with the drive shaft, and then we're going to be getting into the clutch pedal.
So for the drive shaft we're going to use the U-joint from the different drive shaft that was from the Nissan. So we're going to use this end and we're going to weld this to the original shaft, which is going to be cut to the size to fit into the car.
So for the clutch pedal, we're going to be designing a version of it in Fusion 360 just to make sure that it can fit into this car. And then we're going to make it through the CNC machine.
Yeah, so let's get started with the drive shaft, then make the clutch pedal, and let's hope that we actually get this car working in this video. So starting off by starting work on the easy part, which is going to be making the drive shaft for this car. So basically right now we have this back part of the Mercedes drive shaft that is still in the car. We've disconnected this front part of the drive shaft that was the second half that used to go to the automatic transmission. But of course now there is no automatic transmission in this car. We have a 350Z manual transmission. So of course we need to make a way to make a drive shaft that is going to go from the 350Z transmission into this Mercedes drive shaft over here. And the solution is actually pretty easy. We have this drive shaft that came out of this car. This is a drive shaft that used to go to the automatic transmission over there. But all we need to do is that we need to cut this drive shaft off from here, and we need to weld this part on, which is the 350Z, the front part of the 350Z drive shaft. Sebastian was a little too excited to get started on this, so he's already taken the 350Z drive shaft. We cut it in half, and then he took an air chisel and he took all the carbon fiber off it, which was actually pretty easy. All that carbon fiber just came off the steel, and now we're just left with this steel part. Apologize for my hand, by the way. I've had a bit of an injury. I was working on a BMW X6, and because it's a crappy BMW, they left an extremely sharp piece of metal underneath the car, which I was loosening a bolt and my hand basically went across that. I had to get a few stitches. My right hand is probably going to be down for most of this video, but my left hand is still working, so we're still going to continue the work. The part that I'm on right now is that I just need to make an insert that is going to go in this drive shaft, and this drive shaft is then going to go into it. And basically all it's going to do is it's going to hold these two drive shafts exactly straight so that they can easily be welded together. So yeah, I already have the steel set up in the machine and I was ready to go. So let's start off by machining this part, and then we will actually be able to join these two drive shafts together. Once the drive shaft was cut, it was on to Sebastian to clean all the paint off the drive shaft first, then use this insert that I made to join these two drive shafts together and then weld them. It took a little bit of skill to get the drive shaft exactly straight, because when you weld it, it warps a little bit, but when you have a Sebastian on board, there's definitely no shortage of skill. He was able to straighten the drive shaft almost exactly straight and weld them together. Here's a look at everything underneath the car after the exhaust, and well, most of everything is in place and it's looking pretty good. everything literally looks like it came from the factory like that, or well, it looks better than the factory because it's much newer than that crappy automatic transmission that came out. So next what we need to do is that, well, we need to get onto the clutch. We've already connected the clutch sleeve over here, but we need to connect the line that is going to go from here into the body, where we found a place that, oh, it's over there. So there's a hole that we took out over there, was a plug. And from here, next we need to lower the car, we need to take off the carpets underneath, and then we need to guide this clutch line to a clutch pedal that we're going to be making, that we need to get to next. And after that, yeah, the job underneath the car is pretty much done. We just need to put the under trays back on, and it is looking amazing. This is something that you can't even take to a Mercedes dealership, and they probably wouldn't even frown at you for the first 2 seconds. And I'm really excited. Cannot even wait to test drive this car. Okay, so now that everything with the drive shaft is done, next it's on to the clutch pedal, which Karen is doing a bit of work on, and she's going to explain how this is going to work.
So we're going to be using the master cylinder from the 350Z, which is over here. And this is the pedal. We're going to push on here, and it's going to push this part out. And then we have the rear bearings?
Ball bearings.
Ball bearings?
Yeah.
I know what all this stuff is. Which is going to go right here. And then we're going to be manufacturing all of these parts, putting them together and testing them out.
And here's a look at all the pieces that are machined for the clutch pedal that came out of the CNC. So now the last step left is to put all these together, put the bearings in there. The bearings go in like this. They're press fit, so like the hole is the exact size for the bearing to go in. I'm not strong enough to do it by hand, but basically, yeah, these get pressed in like this, and then that's how the bearings go. And then this thing is going to go over here, the other one is going to go over here, and then this pedal part, this is the part where the actual clutch pedal is going to mount on. This one is going to go over here. So yeah, next let's TIG weld all this together and see how it looks. Here's a look at the clutch pedal after it is all put together, and yeah, basically this is how it moves. You press this thing, this moves in the clutch master cylinder, and the clutch line is going to go over here, which is going to go to the clutch. Some cool things about this one is that you can actually adjust the clutch travel from this bolt, like how far you actually want it to move in before it stops. I left it, I gave a lot of adjustability because when people go with racing clutches, what happens is that the biting point becomes really small and the clutch only moves like a little bit before that's the max travel. So using this, you can actually limit it to that, so you don't have a dead pedal moving down half the way, which is not even used. More than that, there's also, the travel is also adjustable from over here. Like this actually reduces like how much the clutch moves the clutch cylinder itself. So like you can move this pin to different positions. Right now it's in the middle position, which is gonna pretty much give the same pedal ratio as what it is in the 350Z. If you move it down, of course, it becomes softer. If you move it, if you move it up, it will give you more travel, like your clutch pedal will become longer. If you move it down, it will become less travel. So for racing clutches or for multi-disc clutches, you might want to use this top setting, because you don't want to move those clutches too much because they have a really small biting point. But for a regular clutch like this, I think the middle point would be good. But of course, yeah, the reason for having adjustability is that you can move these settings around and adjust it wherever you like them. And of course, this setting is already there. This setting is for where you want your pedal to be positioned. If you move this bolt further out, the pedal will start moving more towards the driver. If you move it the other way, it's going to move away from the driver. So, and these two bolting points at the top is where the face of the pedal is going to mount. We haven't made the face right now. The face of the pedal is going to go over here, and it's going to stick out that way towards the brake pedal. That's something we still have to make, but I'm really excited to put this in the car now and first find out how everything actually works. So now for fitting the clutch pedal in the car, it's gonna go in this region over here like that. But to fit it all the way down, first I need to remove this little screw over here. It's just for holding this plastic wiring harness thing in place. So not a big deal removing that. I just need to cut this plastic thing off, remove that bolt, and then I'll be able to put this clutch pedal flat on the ground. And after that, there's only 3 holes that I need to add bolts on, and then that is going to secure the clutch pedal to the floor. And after that, it's just about making the face of the pedal that is going to go over there, and then actually connecting the lines and using it. For mounting the clutch pedal, I went with the lazy way, just welding 3 bolts straight to the floor of the car so that the clutch could be mounted there. But it worked really nice and the clutch pedal felt solid mounted like this. You can also use rivet nuts to do it. That would be a little bit of a cleaner way of doing it. But after that, it was onto the clutch line. For the clutch line, there is this blue flexible line that already comes from Z1 Motorsports when you buy the clutch sleeve. All I had to do was guide this to the hole that was already left conveniently enough in the chassis, and then after that connect the steel line going to the clutch pedal. So here's a look at the clutch line after it is done. So yeah, this part of the clutch line was super easy to do, just that blue part coming in from there. Had to connect that with this steel line that goes all the way to the master cylinder over there. This is actually really easy to bend. You can just bend these by hand. It's actually a brake line, a 3/16 inch one, I believe the size was. And next what I need to do is that I need to connect this hose over here that is gonna feed fluid to this one. At first I was thinking of connecting a hose over here and taking it all the way till the engine bay and linking it with the brake reservoir, because the brake reservoir also has this tube at the bottom that is going to it, which goes to the SBC module. So like I was thinking of actually cutting it, adding a T over here and connecting a 1/2 inch hose that goes to the clutch. But what I thought of after that was that why not make my life easier and just make the clutch system and brake system separate. That way I don't even need to tap into the brake system. So now what I'm planning to do is that I have this hose that I'm planning to use. I'm gonna connect it to this clutch thing over here, and then I'm planning to actually just mount like a clutch fluid reservoir somewhere up here, like over this panel. That way, because clutch fluid, it's not something that you need to fill too often or something. It's lasts a really long time, like 5-6 years even before you have to refill it. So it would be much easier just leaving it over there, and then whenever you have to refill it, you can pick it off and check the level or whatever and put it back there. So that's the way I'm planning to do it now. The only problem is that the clutch reservoir, I thought of this too late, and the clutch reservoir I ordered, it's not going to be in for another 2 days, but I'm too excited to get this car running. So for now I'm just going to connect this line. I'm just going to make a temporary clutch reservoir out of a water bottle or something and bleed the whole system and see how this whole thing works. So here's what I've done for now. I've just connected this line over here going to this water bottle that is filled with brake fluid. A pretty sketchy way to do it, but it's only for 2 days until the actual clutch reservoir comes in, and then I'm going to be doing it properly. But now I don't want to wait 2 days for that one to come in, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get to bleeding the system next. Now the only annoying thing about the 350Z clutch is that this thing is not even the top part of the clutch sleeve. So in order to take all the air out, you actually have to take it off. You have to point it towards the top so that all the air will come out. Okay, so now that this thing is off, I'm just going to point it up like this. So this becomes the top part, so all the air comes out of the bleeding thing. And Karen's actually helping me bleed this, so she's in the car right now, and then I'm going to tell her to press the clutch pedal. After she presses it, I'm going to tighten this back so no air comes back. Then she's going to let go. Then I'm going to loosen it again. She's going to press it again, and yeah, basically we're going to keep pumping until fluid starts coming out of here. Press it again. Okay. Alright. Let go again. Press it again, but slowly. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Can you press it down all the way? Yeah. You can? Perfect, it's working. Nice, good. So now finally the clutch pedal is working. There's just one adjustment left actually. When you press the clutch pedal down all the way, the tires still have a little bit of force on them. They should be moving freely. So what I need to do is that I just need to change this setting, the travel of the pedal slightly further, so the pedal travels further down, and that should be it. Okay, this is the final moment. The car is back on the ground. We still didn't put any of the interior trims and stuff back, but I'm really excited. I just want to test drive the car right now. And almost in perfect time, Sebastian is also here to push his car out of the way. Alright, here we go. This is the first time. Let's take the car out of gear first before heading out. We are doing this the idiot way though, so we haven't tested this out in the air or anywhere. We're just heading out for a test drive right away, hoping everything works.
Whose decision was that?
My decision, but let's see how it goes first, then I'll see what I have to say about it. Starts up fine. Now is the nervous moment. Trying to put it in reverse. Goes in reverse. Let's let go of the clutch really slow. It just drives. It drives.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, nice. I'm actually driving a manual E55. Okay, let me back out of the shop really slow because it feels completely normal though. Okay. Now we're out of the shop. Alright. I didn't even install it yet.
Wait, aren't you getting Sebastian?
Oh, Sebastian had to come along too.
Yeah, you weirdo. You left him.
This is a manual E55. Look how cool that is. I just shifted a gear in an E55. It just drives completely normal. This is so cool. Oh my god, this is the coolest car ever. It's actually manual. Oh shit. Okay, my fault there. I didn't press the clutch and I tried to put it into first.
Oh my god. Can you relax?
The ESP still works. All these people literally think they're just seeing a normal E55, but they don't even know this one is manual swapped. Oh man, this is so cool.
Yeah, pick Sebastian up.
So how does it feel?
It's amazing. It's actually a manual E55. Let's take it back in the shop before we break something. Or no, Sebastian, do you want to drive it?
Well, I mean...
You excited?
Of course.
You guys like so happy you want to cry?
Kids.
You gotta drive it next.
No.
Definitely drive it.
No.
This is crazy. Transmission works really nice.
Yeah. The gear shifts feel amazing.
Beautiful.
You just need like a good face on the pedal now. Hey Karen, your turn.
But I can't do it.
Karen, you have to do it.
I don't know how to do it. I'll go straight.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Go straight.
I don't want to turn. Man, I think I've like got weak legs or something. I can't push this thing. Okay.
Okay, down all the way.
Yeah.
Put it in first gear. Sideways and forwards. Nice. Release the clutch slowly.
And then what?
Then the car will just start going.
How do I stop again?
You're gonna have to press the clutch down all the way, then you'll have to press the brakes. Clutch first, then brakes, just remember. There you go. You did it! What the hell? No way! What the hell? That's how easy it is to drive.
Wait, now what?
Literally, you just press the accelerator and you go. That's it. That's it. Oh my god, that has
Wait, do I
got to
have
be.
to slow down to turn? I don't even know what I'm doing.
Well, just do whatever you're doing. You're doing it right.
Scared. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's a manual now. It's a little too direct.
Oh, I don't want to go on the street though.
Let the guy cross the street with gas. Okay, let go of the clutch slowly. There you go. You actually drive really nice. Perfect. Literally our second time driving stick. And like, that's perfect. Probably better than me at least. press the clutch, don't worry, don't panic.
What do I do?
Just pull over behind Sebastian's car, let the guy go, and then you can pull into the shop.
So are you happy?
Amazing.
Are you gonna cry?
Best thing ever. Am I gonna cry?
Tears of joy.
I'm probably gonna cry when it's time to give the car back. So there it is, finally the E55 driving with the manual transmission, and it feels amazing. It's actually turned out, well, it actually feels way better than what I expected. The engine is so much more direct with all that stupid weight gone from the torque converter and the automatic transmission. The throttle response is amazing. It's almost like driving a car with ITBs or something. You just press it and it's immediate. It goes right away. Gear shifts are super fast. Rev matching is really easy. There's no throttle hang shifting between gears, and yeah, everything is just working amazing. It almost feels like that car. That's the closest thing I can relate it to. My E55 ASL, of course, because that has the same engine as this car. A few problems right now though that we do need to fix. One is that the supercharger is not running right now. There is a way to make it work though. It's something that I actually tried on my E55. I took manual control of the supercharger clutch and the recirculating valve using another circuit, so you can actually manually engage the clutch and also close the recirculating valve. That's something that I think I will need to try out in this car, but other than that, there's also one more thing that I need to do where the electronics go. That is right now when we were driving the car, we had this automatic shifter still in place. The reason we didn't get rid of that is because you actually do need that for the car to run, because it's one of those safety features that is programmed into it. The car needs to detect either park or neutral for it to start. If it's in reverse or D, obviously you shouldn't start the car because it's going to start driving right when it starts. So that's one of the safety features programmed into it to disable it from starting, because of which we have to keep it right now. But I need to figure out a way to get rid of it and also to get the supercharger working. So those are the only two concerns when it comes to electronics. Other than that, right now we haven't even touched the electronics. Everything is the same way it came from the factory. There's nothing done on the electronics, and of course the car runs and drives. It does give a check engine light. The code for check engine light is for the solenoids on the transmission that it doesn't detect any value from those, which is obvious because there is no transmission. But other than that, there's no other codes. Everything else is behaving just like it should. All the features of the car, ESP, cruise control, they all work. So that's pretty good to see. But now though, there is still a little bit of work left for this video. That is to finish up on the clutch reservoir, make it proper so that it's not a stupid bottle hanging over there and it's the proper thing, and also making a face for that clutch pedal. And after that, I'm going to be putting all this interior back together and covering up everything. So, but yeah, so far looking amazing. Okay, so the next day now, and the clutch reservoir has arrived, and also the clutch pedal, the face for the clutch pedal, I've also made that. So yeah, let's put this on, let's see how it looks in the car, and then finish up everything. So after a little bit of tidying up, here's what everything looks like. I've connected that clutch reservoir thing over there. The brake pedal, I'm thinking I'll have to cut this part of the brake pedal away for it to like everything to be evenly spaced, and then I think it will like feel pretty good to drive. But right now the next thing is putting the carpet in. For the carpet, I do need to do a little bit of cutting on the insulation underneath so that this whole thing can actually fit underneath the carpet. It is pretty much below the floor line, because the floor line is where this bottom part of the accelerator goes, so you can see that like pretty much the whole thing is below the thing. But I just need to cut some insulation away from there so that yeah, the carpet can fit back in there. One thing I actually thought of later was that I should have actually made a foot panel like covering all this these hoses, just so that if someone steps right on them, he doesn't break them. But what I'm gonna do for now is that I'm just gonna add some fiberglass behind the carpet so that it all becomes really hard, and the whole thing becomes really strong, so that even if someone steps on it, there's no chance of damaging anything underneath. So after that, of course, the last step was cutting away some insulation from underneath the carpet, making a small hole for the clutch pedal to go through, and then putting everything back in place. Here's a look at the carpet after it is installed, and it didn't go in as well as I was hoping. There's still a little bit of a bulge over here, if you can see where the clutch pedal thing is. So it's not too bad, it's not too noticeable, but it is there. So but yeah, other than that, everything seems pretty good. The pedals work just like they're supposed to, nothing hits each other. And the brake pedal, well, I think the brake pedal, I should cut this part of the brake pedal off because it's pretty close to the clutch pedal. So like once you cut this part off, then all the pedals are going to be evenly spaced. I think they're going to work pretty nice that way. And also for heel and toe, I was trying it out with this accelerator. It's actually pretty difficult to press it with your heel because it's a reverse mounted pedal. It does nothing at all if you press this part. You have to press the top part for it to work. So you kind of have to do like a toe and toe in this car rather than a heel and toe for that to work. But still, everything, all the placement and stuff is pretty good. The clutch pedal, I have left it like farther out from the brake pedal because it's a pretty deep pedal actually. So like the clutch pedal travels quite a bit, and that's why I've had to leave it over there. If I made it flush with the brake pedal, then what would have happened is that you really need to stretch your leg out to put it down all the way. So I think this placement is probably going to be the right one for this. I can reduce the clutch travel by changing the linkage on the pedal, but then the clutch pedal will also become harder, and since it is already getting on the stiff side, I think this is probably good. It's really easy to drive this way with the long clutch pedal, so I think I'm probably going to leave it like this. But if it was for a racing application or something, then I think I would have preferred like leaving the clutch pedal really short, much like it is on my car, and yeah, do it that way. Okay, so we headed out for a bit of a longer test drive with the E55 just to see how all the functions and everything works. And well, we did a bit of figuring out with stuff. The cruise control works when you're in D, but it doesn't work when you're in neutral. And well, the ESP always works, even if you're in neutral, the ESP works. But other than that, yeah, the car seems really nice. It's really fun to drive. It's actually pretty quick even without the supercharger. I guess because it feels so direct and like everything, and yeah, it feels really nice to drive. It doesn't feel like anything you would expect like aftermarket. It doesn't feel like a modified car at all actually. It feels like something that would come from the factory, everything, the way it works. Cruise control works, driving down the street in third gear. You can even shift gears during cruise control. And it's still shifts and it's still in cruise. That's pretty cool. Stop sign here. Just back to first. I'll do a bit of a pull over here. ESP kicking in there. It's pretty quick. What do you think, Sebastian?
I like it.
Yeah, it's weird, and this is without the supercharger. Imagine with the supercharger.
Yeah.
The response is amazing. Like right when you step on it, it's like it's immediate, right?
Yeah.
It's no longer like the automatic transmission was.
It feels like it's supposed to feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you have good downshifting. Nice. My downshifts are horrible. Try to heel and toe. Let's see if you can do it.
Okay.
No? Ah, nice. Now you can actually properly downshift.
It revs crazy.
Yeah, it revs super freely.
You just touch it. Wow.
Yeah. What do you think? You're gonna...
My Nissan doesn't even rev like that.
Yeah. You're gonna replace your Nissan with an E55 now? So I guess that's more than enough fun for one video. I'm gonna end it over here. I still need to put the center console back together. The reason I didn't do that is because there's still a little bit of figuring out to do with that automatic shifter, and I want to figure that before I put everything back in. But I'm gonna do that in the next video, and also I'm gonna figure out how to get the supercharger working in the next video. So a little bit of electronics to figure out, but that's gonna be it. Other than that, like mechanically, everything feels amazing. It feels just like the car like came from the factory, just like this. Doesn't even give you the slight slightest sense that like it's modified or it's something that is done to the car aftermarket. Plus, I bet if we put a new person in the car at this point that doesn't know too much about E55s, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell there's something done to this car. That's how good everything feels. Oh yeah, other than that, people were asking about the cost of all this conversion and all the parts required to do it. So in the next video, I'm going to put a full list together of all the parts you need to get to actually make the swap work, including, well, there's only two sources of parts really that were used on this car. One is from Z1 Motorsports, the 350Z transmission. It was a new transmission. The clutch, the flywheel, the masters, all the Nissan parts basically used in this conversion, they were all from Z1 Motorsports. And of course, the only other source is our website, XF Motorsports, which is for the adapters and for basically making it all work with the Mercedes engine. So yeah, it's actually amazing that all these parts are still available new for really decent prices, and the options of parts available for this transmission are just insane, like multi-disc clutches and all that aftermarket stuff that is available for 350Z transmissions. So it's amazing. I think this will open a lot of opportunities for people modifying their cars and like taking E55s to the next level, putting 1,000 horsepower in them and all that stuff, because yeah, of course this transmission can handle a lot more than the automatic transmission can handle. I was having troubles with my transmission personally when I used it in my E55 at like 15 psi. That's what, after that the transmission would slip gears, it would go into limp mode, it would only work for 2 or 3 laps. But of course now with the manual transmission in this car, it's super reliable, doesn't give a single issue lap after lap, everything just works. So yeah, really excited to do more work on it and get everything working. This is going to be everything for this video. Actually, yeah, Karen told me to include all the outtakes from the videos at the end of the video. I usually don't like including all the outtakes, but yeah, for this one I'm going to include all the outtakes from part 1 all the way to this one. Yeah, that's going to be everything for now. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Stand like here. Okay. Karen.
I don't want to be in this video.
You have to be in the video. So the first thing after starting on the CNC machine is to zero all the axes. Karen, you didn't press start.
I did press start.
Really? Press it again. 0. The hell?
No.
Alright guys, welcome to another video from XF Motorsports. In this one we are finally going to be dropping the transmission from the E55, putting in the CD on... shit. Lost it. Out of breath.
1, 2, 3, action.
Still out of breath.
Oh. You better not embarrass me.
Huh?
Don't put in really bad stuff.
Don't put you in bad stuff?
No.
No.
Get the freaking camera off me.
Alright, okay, let's do it.
Look how messy the shop is. It's all his fault. Because he's a slob. And it's my job to clean it up.
Oh, whoa, you crashed. Karen, what did you do? On this car, and then we're going to design a clutch pedal in Fusion 360, which Karen's going to explain.
You literally just said what you were going to do.
Let me do it again. And then for the clutch pedal, Karen's going to be designing the pedal in Fusion 360. We have the...
You just said it again.
Okay.
See? Let us say it.
Okay, you got to see the whole thing then. Okay, you can take it.
No, it's okay.
You can take it.
Let them
We
call.
muted it?
Huh?
They will call, they will stop.
Well,
And then we proceed with the video.
Okay.
You can wait.
Yeah.
What if it goes off?
You won't call again?
No.
We'll just leave it in the video then.
That would be funny in the video. Then we just like, oh,
That's it.
cut.
Yeah.
Take 2.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.